I'm the Big LG Doc Gallows, and you're watching the Wrestling Junkies. Boom.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies Podcast. I'm Mr. Cincinnati. As always, I'm joined by the podcast dad once again, rocking a very new snazzy hat from WWEshop.com. Choops, how we doing, bud?
Good. And if you want to do that, check out our affiliate.
Yeah. I don't know if I have that QR code up here still, but that is on our socials if you want to get yourself some WWE swag. Company man.
Just trying to plug for us, and then there we go. Mr. Pluggo's not prepared. I mean, that's not a shot of Pluggo, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted you to pause and think about that. I know what you were trying to do with it, but
I do too.
Not today.
It didn't work.
No,
it didn't
that's
work.
okay.
And sometimes it doesn't work. That's
it's okay.
fine.
C+ for effort. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us tonight. As always, you can find us on X and TikTok at Junkies Pod. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod. But please do us a huge favor. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Dad. We're at 592. It was at 593, but we're back at 592.
Oh, come on.
Tell your friends. Tell everybody.
Come on. 593.
Okay.
Come back. I will. You don't have to, but I will. Come back.
I won't. There's plenty of room at the table.
There's an extra chair at that table tonight.
No, there's not. It's the
There's
same amount of chairs.
There's a new chair there.
It's the same amount of chairs. One has just moved around a little bit.
No, it's a new chair.
No, it's not.
And we're both wearing band T-shirts. This might be the first time ever.
Oh yeah. Green Day Dookie edition. What do you got there?
I have Ghost.
Nice.
That's me. I have way too many Ghost T-shirts, but that's okay. We're going to talk some wrestling today, but please subscribe to that YouTube channel. Also follow the Main Event Network crew. Doing a lot of good stuff. Blogs, fan art, watch-alongs, you name it. Am I getting that right?
Yes.
We do it, and we're having a great time. We're having a big year. We have a bunch of fun stuff coming up as well this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Wrestling Junkies and the 10-Gallon Podcast. A WrestleMania preview special. We think the card is all but finalized.
Yes.
It should be, I would say, after Friday night. And we're going to break it down match by match and give our feelings and predictions. And it's been a weird Mania. So I'm excited to finally give out predictions and kind of feel what we feel is going to happen.
Yeah, and tomorrow night, programming note, we will be bringing the Pandemonium Pro Wrestling Whatever Forever preview special, 9:45 Eastern. There will be no show at 7. We're doing this at 9:45. Got 4 incredible guests joining us. We've got Hart, the booker of this show. We have got Alexis Lee joining us. We've got Danny O'Ryan. And making his Wrestling Junkies podcast debut is...
Shimbashi.
I love it. No.
I'm a little under the weather. I'm fighting through it. I am excited for some Shimbashi, though. I will say that.
Sickness and Health podcast dad is ready to say Shimbashi. I approve. Also, April 22nd, we have our 500th episode, man. This is going to be an interesting one. We are turning the tables, and we have some help from some of our friends and most loyal supporters. But stay tuned to our socials throughout the next week and a half. We've gotten some well wishes from former guests of our show that we want to share with you guys, and appreciate everybody that has sent in videos so far. It warms our hearts. It's really fucking cool.
It does. It's something I thought was going to last 5 episodes, and now we're here. We've made a lot of fun connections over the year. In 3 years we've been doing this? 4 years?
3. Going into year 4 now. Yeah.
Going into year 4. A nice little escape from the world for 30 minutes with one of my better friends in the world. And we cannot appreciate you all enough for supporting us. And yeah, episode 500 is crazy.
Yeah. Val Pancakeshausen. Love it. Both bands start with a G.
Look at that.
Definitely was not thinking about that. That's
Look at that.
Big Val.
Synergy.
Yeah. And she offers her own Shimbashi.
Shimbashi.
This is fun.
It's gonna be fun. I'm going to have to keep myself from doing that every 30 seconds when he's on.
Do your best.
I will try. No problem.
Want to talk NXT?
Yeah. They didn't do what I asked.
You ask a lot of people. What you're gonna?
No, I wanted a new main event picture.
I know. Yeah, that is.
We're getting the same thing.
Yeah, this is because now they've got this 2-week special that's coming next week. NXT Revenge. It's Backlash Light. That's exactly what this is.
Almost like they could have done Stand and Deliver.
I know. I remember I threw that out there during Mania week. Do it. If you're not going to do it on a Thursday, kind of kick the weekend off. Just use that time slot. And
it's crazy.
Crazy.
I guess. I don't know, man. I mean, we're going to watch, yeah, but it's just, I don't know. I wanted something different in the main event picture, and we're not getting that right now. Okay. Like we're just going to do what we need to do, and I don't know if I love the involvement with Dark State. I don't know if it's like my favorite thing to do for this, but I guess they're going the whole, keep your friends close, enemies closer kind of thing with these 4, and it doesn't seem like these 4 are going to go away. If they do run it back with like a 4-way, gotta have some kind of stipulation, right? Like a ladder match or something, right?
Yeah. So I don't dislike this as much as you did. I think this is much more beneficial to Dark State. They have been kind of in need of something for a while. And I mean, we've kind of seen that in the tension that was teased as far as Deion Lennox attacking Miles Bourne and stating his intention to go after the North American Championship. And, it seems like that kind of briefly got them back onto the same page, which is encouraging because I think anyway, because again, big moment of Stand and Deliver, kind of getting a lick in on a champion after he has won his match against an NXT legend. So tangentially, perfect time to strike. This, and then they followed up 3 or 4 days later with a main event, or not main event, but marquee match against the entire Stand and Deliver main event. Came up in a loss, but as we kind of look to what's next for the rest of the year in NXT, it is time to start placing some emphasis on people that it's time to start showcasing some new names and new faces. And Dark State has needed kind of this reset for a while because I've said it countless times, I'll continue to say it. It took them way too long to establish with the audience that there's no other person coming to lead this. Where we kind of had that, they teased it just enough for us to continue to think for the first few months of their debut. Is it Trick? Is it Javon Evans? Who, like Ethan Page? Who could it be that is in charge of this group? But now I think this is kind of the reset they need of 4 guys thinking collectively, and then eventually we'll start to tease that friction again. But Dark State going after Bourne in the NXT title picture, I think that makes a lot of sense for that group right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of what they were doing originally, right? They were kind of just showing up in the main event scene and doing this, but it kind of went away over the last couple months, and they kind of fell back to the tag division and haven't really been doing much of anything. I mean, they've broken a few off here and there, but this could be good. But like you said, they lost, so I don't know what the end goal is. Maybe one of them break out and do challenge Tony D for that championship. But you're gonna have to get some wins under your belt, because
for sure
anybody right now in that group going against Tony D, it'd be hard for me to suspend my disbelief.
Yeah, and that's why I say North American title picture for now. This is, you can serve 2 purposes with the story. Again, I don't necessarily love seeing the 4 of them mix it up again. I really don't want to. But excuse me. Logically, it makes sense that Ethan Page sees Joe Hendry about to get the win, wants the glory for himself, and can say that he saved the day, and leads to that tension that gets him his title match. So logically, I can understand it from there. But again, like I said, you beat 3 of the biggest names that you have on the roster on the men's side right now. Like, you're not ready with anybody else.
Yeah,
which is why you're running it back. That is very concerning. Yes.
Yeah, anybody else. Like, Stand and Deliver is supposed to be like the finality of stuff, and actually none of it was the finality of anything. Like, Tatum Paxley and Blake Monroe are still going to go at it.
I got thoughts on that.
Soul Ruka and Zarya are still going to go at it. Like, JC Jane and Lola Vice have a rematch next week. Like, it was like, okay, like,
Yeah.
Stand and Deliver felt like a mid 2000s pay-per-view where they just did stuff and they were like, oh, we'll just run it back because we have nothing else to do right now.
Yeah. And that's why, I mean, again, that's what, especially even the name itself, NXT Revenge, it basically is kind of it's their response to Backlash, that it's just implied in the name of getting those licks back. And there's enough stories that they've kept going that should not be anymore. You know, Zaruka, that's one that should have ended at Stand and Deliver in a last woman standing match. Like that, if you had time to, I'm not saying that the turn itself was not great. There are plenty of other times that we could have gotten to that point so that you could have that finality at Stand and Deliver that I think a lot of people were expecting, and just kind of feeds into, again, just feeling very off about this show from it not being yes, it's their biggest show of the year, but we're used to that happening over WrestleMania weekend because they've conditioned us to that. And then, you know, very hastily, the decision was made to move it to YouTube and several weeks before.
Yep.
Or at least it feels hastily.
Oh, it is. It definitely is. Yeah, I don't know. NXT just, for me, and I know there's some NXT lovers out there, but NXT just kind of fell flat for me last night.
It was fine. There are some things I did like about it. You know, was it the Raw after WrestleMania or that type of energy that you would expect, you know, coming off of your biggest show of the year? No. But, you know, there were some bright spots, at least in my humble opinion.
Alexis King winning.
And here's why that needs to be a bright spot. One, they need to kind of, much like Dark State, they need to figure out if there's going to be a leader of some kind or what. And here's why. When you saw them all accompany Lexis King to that entrance, that entrance made it feel like he was kind of the leading guy in this group just based on the formation. You could have very easily, and I know I'm just kind of getting nitpicky here, but you could have very easily had him walk out first and everybody just, you know, flanking behind him. You know, we see that all the time with groups, fine enough, but they were kind of rolling out the carpet for him. And if you were going to give that kind of presentation to him as part of these matches, he needs to win the Speed Championship here. I know how silly that sounds to you, but this group needs fucking something. They lost a 10-man tag on the biggest show of the year on the pre-show. You know, we made the big deal of Charlie Dempsey and Uriah Connors coming into this group at the suggestion of their very famous fathers. And if you're not going to have them involved in this group a little bit more often, then you need to find a way for them to stand on their own or at least show that they are a force in some capacity. I know you don't like the Speed concept, but it is at least something they can try to use for him to dominate. And I think that's what needs to happen here, is that he probably needs to win the title. If we want to take Birthright seriously, they need some gold and they need some wins.
This feels like your Duke Hudson heel turn all over again.
I know. I was so fucking patient too.
That's what this feels like. I don't know. This group seemed very good. It was in a main event segment, and then they lost, and then they lost, and then they lost, and now they're going after the Speed Championship. Like, okay. Like, so this is a mid-card group at best, in my opinion. From how they're presenting it. Which is fine. I am not advocating for any of these guys to go after the NXT Championship. I am.
There's anytime soon. I don't know.
Here's one.
Stacks, he doesn't seem ready.
No, you shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. No, Charlie Dempsey. That guy is underutilized as hell.
He is. I agree with you. I think that he's got to build some momentum first. That's another potential Miles Bourne challenger this year.
He'd be a great heel for Tony D. He really could. I mean, we're talking about Tony D as the NXT champion. Like, you got to throw something at the wall, see if it sticks.
That is true. Yeah.
Like, you can't just keep running.
Bob Holly had his Backlash 03.
He had his Rumble too. Rumble 04.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, wait, 03 was senior. Never mind. Yeah.
I got an idea.
What's that?
Put the belt on me. That's what Bob Holly said. So, give me your thoughts on the Tatum Paxley thing.
This is let me start by saying I like this pairing of Blake Monroe with the Vanity Project. I just think it's really fun. It's just Blake getting to play into the glamour girl gimmick and boys drooling all over. Like yeah, I get it. This is cool. If you are going to continue to make Blake Monroe so delusional that she believes that she is North American champion to the point that you give her a customized belt, they better be announcing a ladder match for week 2 of Revenge, and Blake Monroe better win that championship. Because what's the point of introducing this into the story, a belt that is her own, so she delusionally thinks that, while Tatum is the real champion, without doing something to unify those titles? It has to end in a ladder match.
Character building, pal. You got to build her character. Storytelling. Why is she still in NXT?
Because with as much as we've lamented the card, what is the point of bringing her up, in the weeks before Mania when there's not really anything planned for her?
But you could have had her off TV for a while and it would have been fine. Again, we want.
You're popular tonight.
It's work. It's. I don't know. I don't know, man. I was hoping for some fresh feuds coming out of Stand and Deliver. I was hoping for that reset button. I know we're not getting it, but I was just. It just feels weird that we're running back just for the matches. We're just doing the same thing. I'm
no.
I don't know. It doesn't.
WWE's been doing that. They've been doing that for 25 plus years.
Yeah, but they've been doing that, but they've added an element, right? And maybe they still add an element, but some stipulations, another person, something. You go back and look at the best one I remember is I think it was WrestleMania 22. 22 was Cena and Triple H, right? Yeah, that was big. Yeah, and then they ran it back at Backlash, but they added Edge and Orton in the Fatal 4-Way. Add something to it. It's okay if you run it back with the same people, but add something or put a stipulation. And like you said, if this isn't a ladder match, what's the point?
Yeah.
And I don't know if she needs to win, but what's the point of her introducing a new title if it's just a regular match? They have to do something, right? And this is next week.
Week 1 is next week. I think they announced 4 matches for that, and then a Joe Hendry segment where he addresses his future in NXT. So
whatever that.
We'll see what comes of that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting time in NXT. Interesting time.
It is, and there were other bright spots. I want to point out that we did have a backstage segment with Eli Knight, Ilya LaFleur, just coming off of arm surgery. I forget the name they just gave him, Mike DeVecchio, who's done some stuff in Progress, and then Sean Legacy kind of sitting in the background there. I like that there was a segment that kind of reminds us. What's that?
EK Prosper is his new name, by the way.
Who's? Eli. Eli. Oh, okay, gotcha.
EK Prosper. Which, okay, it's a weird one.
Anyway, I like that there was at least a moment to focus on kind of these new names that are coming in that are looking to make an impact. LaFleur, it sucks that he had to relinquish the Speed Championship. Sean Legacy probably would have had something cool to do at Stand and Deliver had he not gotten hurt either. Mike DeVecchio's character, he's just got and he passes the airport test. There's a lot of names that they can do cool stuff with. I agree with you. I think that there's a little bit more that they could have done to set up some of that going into the rest of the year. I also did really like that Keanu Carver had interactions with Miles Bourne and Tony D, because Keanu Carver getting the win in that big man triple threat. I think that says how high they are on them. And at least based on commentary, it sounds like this is kind of the end of that program there. I think that Keanu Carver would be a fine candidate as well to take the title off of Miles Bourne at some point this year if he continues to rack up the wins that he is, because he's got something.
Yeah, Keanu Carter's good. I like him. I liked all 3 of them in that match last night, actually. Jasper
Troy. Be shocked, Val.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever heard you say that.
Wow. Wow, good for
Look at
EK Prosper. Jasper Troy, Josh Briggs, and am I blanking again? Keanu Carver, yeah. Like Josh Briggs reminds me a lot of like, and he wrestled him, and I think he tagged with him, like Baron Corbin. Like he's just a solid big man. Like plug and play. I think Josh Briggs is a valuable asset to have.
1,000%.
Could easily main event once or twice a year, and nobody would bat an eye. I think like if that's WWE's first like big challenger, I don't think anybody would be upset. Keanu Carver definitely has a future. Jasper Troy, obviously they're high on him. He debuted against Obafemi.
Yeah.
So clearly they think there's something there. He has taken a bit of a dip since the Obafemi feud, but still a chance to build him up. So I thought that was a really good showcase.
Yeah, because that was last year that he won LFG?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean there's tons of time, and this is where you can't help but highlight the importance of how much NXT needs to be, as much as you can, equal parts indie talent as well as NIL and reality show recruits, because I understand that the big thing about WWE moving all of their training in-house and wanting to make sure that people learn that style and that style only. As people, not everybody is going to be an Obafemi or a Tiffany Stratton or somebody that picks it up as quickly as a Kalani Jordan, that picks it up like a fish to water. Excuse me, Sol Ruka, yes, obviously, but that's why you need that balance. Like last night, we saw Starboy Charlie make his in-ring debut for NXT. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch, on Tuesday nights in the very near future. Like you need that blend of those so that WWE, we understand they have their way of doing things, but the best thing I think is, are you coachable? So the talents that they're bringing in, based on the ones that we've had interactions with, seem to be extremely coachable, to where I think you do need to still keep that emphasis on independent recruiting and making sure that the ID program is something that remains viable and provides those opportunities. So that way the NIL recruits do have people to work off of, to create a better product.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head, right? That ID, like we should start seeing some of these people pop in a little bit more. I mean, you still have Evolve, you still have TNA, you still have AAA. Like they have so many names and talents that they can have to create some fresh feuds. So I just think they need to utilize better. I think a lot got taken off to the main roster real quick, and it is, like I said, a transition phase. But we'll get there. Right? I have faith that NXT's been around long enough to prove that they can get there. Thoughts on Sol Ruka and Zarya again?
I mean, you called it, hit it right on the head. This wasn't over the second Sol won. Zarya was going to lose it, and now it's last woman standing.
Zarya has to win, right?
Yeah,
she has to win.
Yeah, no, it's if you want her to have any sort of credibility as a single star, absolutely has to, because she basically she just looks outclassed and looks just like an afterthought, because we heard remember the Sol promos about basically I'm getting these opportunities, she's just kind of falling behind. It felt like a heel promo, and those are your words. Because so if she's already seen as the afterthought in that way, or there's a justification that Sol has in her mind of why they've why things have happened the way that they have, it just minimizes the impact that Zarya could have on that roster. And if she doesn't win this year, you can't transition her to that final boss role of the women's division that she could very easily handle. But it has to start here.
It has to start here. She loses all credibility, like all of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. How many times has a heel won the last man standing match, though?
I know. I know.
I know. You sounded so defeated. I'm sorry.
But it's true, and that's because that's the thing is I always try to think about especially in these kind of trilogy series that happen is how do you decide whether to go from like a singles to like a street fight or something without qualifications, and then what is that blow off? Is it a last man standing? Is it an I quit? Is it a steel cage? Like, yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm thinking about now. Is if this is last woman standing, that kind of implies the finality of a story like that, of what should have been in between that, like a street fight or something else that could lead to that. But yeah, I don't
know. Something that snuck up on me. This Dynasty is this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely snuck up on me.
It is,
and they still only have 6 matches announced.
So since we're gonna do our Pandemonium preview tomorrow night and talking about that show, do you want to run through the 6 matches that we have here? Just kind of get some initial thoughts on them.
Alex Windsor takes on Marina Shafir. That is on the pre-show.
Marina Shafir's coming to Cincinnati, so I just really want to see her win.
I just want to see Marina Shafir win a match. That's it.
Yeah. Especially now that Tony's hurt and the Ronda Rousey thing.
Thank God. FTR defend the tag titles against Cope and Cage.
This one could really go either way.
No, Cope and Cage are winning.
I would like to see that happen. I'm just saying it could go either way here.
No, I think Cope and Cage are going to win. You got to build to it. You got to build to All In.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's going to happen. Moxley defends the AEW Continental Championship against Will Ospreay.
Ooh.
I mean, that'd be a good match.
Yeah. Let's go, Will.
I'll go Mox.
Okay.
I'll go Mox because I think Will Ospreay is going to win the world title at All In. So.
Okay. Doesn't mean you can't have a stop with this belt on the way.
Yeah, I don't get some adversity. Get some adversity for the babyface.
Okay.
Andrade takes on Darby Allin. If Darby Allin wins, he gets a future AEW World Championship match. So Darby Allin.
Yeah, and I imagine this will probably be Double or Nothing.
I think so.
Yeah.
Although
what's that?
I wouldn't be shocked if Andrade won. Because let's talk about the women's title first. Mm-hmm. Thekla takes on Jamie Hayter.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
That's gonna be cool as fuck.
Good.
Yeah.
I think Thekla's gonna win. They're very, very high.
But Jamie
back in the world title picture. Good.
Been too damn long.
Good. And then MJF and Kenny Omega for the World Championship. See, I think Kenny Omega's gonna win. That's why I think maybe Andrade does win.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about your thoughts on Omega versus Ospreay and how that should be the all-in main event. I get it, yeah, and especially with again, doesn't sound like Kenny is long term or full time in ring career is long for this world. Legacy run and have some great matches and Ospreay take it from there. Yeah, sure.
Exactly. You do the legacy run. We don't know how much longer super elite performer Kenny Omega is going to be here. So
yeah,
give him that one last world title run. All right, Dynamite tonight. Chris Jericho will address his return live.
Okay.
I knew you'd love that. Kenny Omega speaks.
And MJF is probably going to respond.
TBS Championship is on the line. Willow Nightingale and Queen Amanada.
Ooh, I like that. Give me Willow.
And then Andrade, Mark Davis, and Takeshita. The trios match against Darby Allin, Bandito, and Jack Perry. I will give you $100 if you can name the 3 titles that are being held by men in this match. There are 3 different titles that people are holding.
The national championship.
Who's holding that?
Jack Perry.
Okay. All right. 1 for 1.
Bandito with the Ring of Honor World Championship.
2 for 2. All right. 1 more.
So it was Bandito, Jack Perry, and who else?
Darby Allin, Andrade, Mark Davis, and Takeshita.
Okay. Darby Allin does not have a championship right now.
He does not.
Neither does Andrade.
Neither does Andrade.
Neither does Mark Davis.
Neither does Mark Davis.
So Takeshita.
What title is he holding? No hints, chat.
International?
Oh, you're so close. The New Japan World Television Champion.
Damn it. Yeah, I wasn't going to get that. Fuck. I almost won $100 live on air from podcast ad and fucked it up.
You almost won.
Damn, that would have been nice. Yeah, we would have definitely been going out.
I was a little worried for a second. I was like, shit, he got those first 2 really quick. But yeah, wrestling's fun. Go have fun.
It is a great time. Yeah. Get well soon to Kyle Fletcher. Enjoy wrestling. It's a good time. Thank you for joining us, as always, at Junkies Pod on X and TikTok. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. But please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're having so much fun over here, and we want everybody to be part of this ride. There's plenty of room at this table that definitely never moves. Podcast Dad, tell them what they got to do.
Tell one person if you like what we're doing here. We're just trying to have some fun.
No.
Also, go watch GCW in St. Louis. Gary J and Mag Dog Connolly.
Oh, yes, please. And dude, they're coming to Cincinnati. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
Oh.
I'm trying to get
follow the Main Event Wrestling.
Ooh,
I like it.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes. Follow the Main Event Network on all the socials. Mr. Cincinnati, what is the program note for tomorrow? Look at
Pandemonium, Whatever Forever preview special tomorrow, 9:45 p.m. Eastern. We've got Hart, Alexis Lee, Danny O'Ryan, and Shimbashi.
You didn't let me do it.
You always get to do it. It's my turn. And then this Saturday, we've got the WrestleMania preview special with the 10 Count podcast, 7 p.m. Eastern. Join us for that in episode 500, April 22nd. We want you to be a part of that show, so stay tuned to our socials on how that can also happen. Podcast Dad, it is great to see you as always, my friend. Make sure to drink your coffee from now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep like in an hour, so I'm gonna rest up. We're gonna have a good pod tomorrow. I'm excited. It's a late pod. The podcast Dad will be. He's gonna be roughing it, so I hope everybody's ready for that.
It's going to be fun. So thank you guys. Make sure to stop in, like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. That's the podcast, Dad. I'm Mr. Cincinnati. This has been the Wrestling Junkies Podcast. And until tomorrow at 9:45 Eastern, enjoy those grabs.